Hey. Oh my goodness. Cyndilu coming to you live from New Zealand. And I am going to be interviewed by my friend Nicole. And how this came about is I'm actually going to interview her at the end. But here at the beginning, I already had this set up to kind of tell a little bit of my story. And I find sometimes it's easier to tell my story if somebody else is asking me questions. So I asked Nicole if she would be willing to just ask me questions. So I'm Cyndilu, in case you've never met me before. I am the founder of beBOLDyou, where we help you to take life's twists and turns and make them into something beautiful so that you can live life out loud and be bold you. So Nicole, welcome today to my podcast broadcast that's live. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Cyndilu. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
At the next part, we will talk a little bit more about you and get a little more of your introduction. But we'll just say that we've met through a few courses and a few different things that we've been in for the last year and a half or so, maybe. We've been kind of crossing paths. So you know a little bit of my story, but there's probably heaps you don't know. So go ahead, ask me anything.
Oh, absolutely. Cyndilu, you have just been such an amazing light in everything that I've encountered you with. All of our courses, you're always the sunshine in everything that we do. So I'm really honored to know you and be able to call you my friend. And I think you have such a great message with your Be Bold You. It's something that I've struggled with for a lot of my life and am just now starting to get into learning how to be a bolder version of myself. And I think you're the epitome of that. So can you tell me more about this new membership that you're launching? I would love to know more about that.
Oh, so the membership is going to be basically the unfolding of everything that I've gone through for the last 20 years as I've been finding myself again. You know, we lay our lives down when, well, I won't say everybody else does, but I chose when I had children to lay down my dreams for my own life and to literally pour my life into theirs to make sure that their dreams were at least understood and valued. And that's one of the things I want to do in this membership is help people to understand that their dreams are there for them to embrace again. Because you may have laid something down. You may have desired to maybe write a book for years. I desired to write a book for years. I desired to have a podcast for years. And, you know, our desires are great, but if we don't ever take action on them and step into what we want to do, then they're just dreams. And I'm loving helping people make dreaming a reality. So to step into those dreams, I think is more, yeah.
That's so awesome. I've heard you use a phrase that I find intriguing. You say we need to renew our minds. And what do you feel is the key to that?
Oh, well, we get into these mindset ruts. I'll call them ruts. You know, when you're driving down a mud road, I don't know if you have mud roads where you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And if you get that tire into that rut, forget it. It is there for good. And the thing is that if you sit there and you stay in that same rut and you just try to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and, you know, try to give it more amplification with where you're sitting without realizing that you need something to come and pull you out, something to lift you up out of the mud and help move you forward. And that's where we can get with our heads, with our thought patterns. We kind of keep having the same thought pattern again and again and again. And if you don't make a new thought, renew your mind, take your mind from the old thinking patterns into new thinking patterns, then you're going to end up stuck in the mud.
Mm. That's very powerful. What a great analogy.
I've been stuck in the mud, literally, in my mind and physically in a car, almost up to the doors. I had to almost crawl out of a window
Oh
one
my
time. Oh
goodness.
yeah, it was bad.
So, without giving too much of your membership information away, can you maybe give an example of a way that someone could renew their mind, like how they would get a benefit from your membership for through.
Sure, sure. So, you can't have new thoughts. You can't put new thoughts into your mind unless you're learning new things. And to discover more new things about your own self is part of the journey that I want to help people go on. To understand that there's more depth to you than you even know. We experience things in our lives and they kind of get engaged into our subconscious. But we don't even know we're thinking the thoughts. We don't even know that we're talking to ourselves. They say that the conversation in our head is 10 times as much as what comes out of our mouth or more. And I always used to say, nah, it's not true. I don't talk to myself. I don't tell myself I'm awful and all that stuff all the time. Then I started to do this 5-step process. And step 1 is write your thoughts. Now, to write your thoughts in this process is to say, what am I thinking? And then put pen to paper and literally start writing without thinking. So you ask your subconscious, what am I thinking about this particular subject? And then you take it from there and you just write. You just write and write and write. And you don't look at it as you're writing it. You don't process it. You don't try to figure it out. You don't think this is right, this is wrong. You just write it down.
Sounds like
Then
a really great exercise. Now, so that's what the membership is. It's little assignments that you can do so you can get more in touch with your mindset, so to speak.
yeah, that's the first month we're going to deal with the first month and a half because we're starting a couple of weeks of free stuff here just to introduce ourselves and get to know one another. But we're going to do that first one where it's renewing your mind and resetting your story and learning how to change your mindset. Then the next month, we're going to go into what are our values? What is it that we want to put our energies into? Because if you start just with your personality and kind of the things that you innately love to do or be, but you don't line those up with your values, and then you don't know how to change your mind to get your mind to line up with your values with your personality as your undergirding, you get lost.
That's really really great. That sounds like it's going to be an awesome membership. Who would you say it's primarily for?
I would say it is primarily for the person who is wanting to reinvent their lives, wanting to go a different direction, feels like either they're stuck or that they're not stuck, but they're ready to move on to a new chapter in their life. We're in different seasons of life. When I stopped parenting because my children were no longer in the house, not that we ever stopped parenting, they still call me, and they're in their 30s and 40s now. No, not 40s yet. No, not yet. Oh, he's only 39. He's only 39. He'll be 39 in December 10th. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got lost in that little thought. Ah! I will, in a year, in a few weeks, I will be the mother of a 40-year-old, and that just kind of freaks me out a little bit. But anyway, I digress. Rabbit hole. So when I got to the part where they'd all pretty much moved out and it was me and 1 or 2 children at home, I went, what do I want to do with my life? And I realized one of the dreams that I had set aside was to go to university and go to school, go to college, get a degree. And I found out through doing work that I loved doing posters and programs and all of that kind of thing. So I was encouraged by a couple of the professors there at the school to go ahead and go to school for graphic design. So I packed my youngest up and we off to Phoenix from Vermont, moved to Phoenix, Arizona. She went from a school of 120 graduating to a school of 1,000 graduating in each class. It was crazy for her, but I loved it. I loved it. She didn't like it, but she did well. She didn't like sunshine every day. I moved to Arizona because I wanted sunshine every day.
That would be me.
We're all different. We're all unique. And that's why I tell that bit of the story, is because we all like different things and we're not meant to like the same things as another person. So that's the other piece, is I want somebody who wants to value themselves and their uniqueness. If they're looking for somebody else to tell them what to do or what moves to make, that isn't going to happen. This is a self-discovery thing where you're going to discover what you love to do. You're going to set your dreams, and then you're going to step into them.
And you just provide the tools to help them discover these things on their own. I love that. That's great.
Yes.
So how can people get signed up for your membership?
They can actually right now just ask me. Put it in the comments down below, and I will add you to the Facebook group. It's free for the rest of November. I've had some major technical issues, So I will not be really starting until December 1st, but I'd love for people to get in there, get to know each other, start having conversations, and let's, spend a little time just getting to know one another.
Well, I will definitely be sending you a message in the comments and getting myself in that group so I can learn more. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Definitely.
Well, I want to thank my listeners for tuning into this podcast. I, again, am Cyndilu of beBOLDyou, where we help you to take life's twists and turns, of which there can be many, and turn them into something beautiful so you can live your life out loud the way you want to, say what you want to do, be who you want to be, and be bold you. Thank you so much for listening. Connect over on Facebook, and if you want to be in that group, you just put a comment in that Facebook live presentation that this came from. Okay, so we are switching gears right now, and we're going to just keep going, if that's all right with you, Nicole.
It's very okay with me.
Nicole is this, she knows why that big long pause, so it's easy for me to cut later. So Nicole is an amazing graphic designer, a fun person to work with. She has been an inspiration to me to get better at doing my graphics quicker. And I'm actually, even though I graduated valedictorian of my class in visual communications, I still need tips on doing it faster. And she is so quick at doing graphics. I am excited to learn from her. So we're going to talk a little bit more with her right now about what her course is about and what people maybe can expect. Well, do a little introduction as to who you are so people can know where you've come from first.
Thank you very much for that, Cyndilu. I appreciate that. My name is Nicole Thompson. I am a 28-year professional graphic designer, and I have spent many years perfecting the trade, so to speak. And one of the things that I specialize in is to be able to get your graphics to tell a story. That's one of the things I love to be able to do. I love to think about the feeling behind a graphic, that the message I'm trying to convey, and really put that forward to the audience in just a glance. So that is going to be a big part of what my course teaches. I just launched my online course, and it's called Designer in a Day, where you'll be able to learn how to, even the novice can learn how to create their own graphic designs in one day's time.
What gave you the inspiration to do Designer in a Day?
Well, we had our course that we took with Miss Young Pratt, who taught us all how to create our own podcasts in a weekend, which was just an incredible inspiration to me. And I thought, graphics has been something that I would consider my expertise, something that I could easily teach to someone else because it's something I can do practically with my eyes closed at this point after 28 years of doing it. But not everybody wants to learn it at the level that I've come to. Some people just want to be able to pop those graphics out really quickly because in today's social media, you don't have time to sit around and wait for a graphic designer to come up with your graphics, or even spend the hours and hours and hours that it would take to learn the complicated graphics programs. So it was kind of a no-brainer to be able to just say, let's take this simple application and turn it into something that you can just spit out your own graphics and make them really look high quality quickly and easily in your spare time. You don't have to take any big long classes. It's just one day and you can learn how to do these graphics really easily all on your own.
So are we going to be, because I'm in the class, are we going to be learning how to make particular graphics, or just the way that you put them together?
There's several different layers to the class. There's two separate sections. One is the quick start for people that have really no concept of creating the graphics to start with, something that they can really get the basics behind what graphics are composed of, the key ingredients, and what makes one graphic better than another, why it would stand out in a feed versus something that would be harder to read or not as eye-catching. And then there's the deep dive section, which is the second level, where it goes into more detail of specific graphics for specific applications and how each one is broken down and how each component of the application comes into play to make that graphic really shine.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I cannot wait.
I'm so excited you're in the class.
I'm just wondering what other questions I might have. So what will we end up with at the end of the class?
Well, at the end of the class, you're going to walk away being able to create graphics quickly and easily. You're going to have eye-catching graphics that you've made yourself. You'll know how to layer the components so that they really work with one another, and get your graphics in your social media feed, stopping the scroll, getting those eyeballs on your message, and really capturing the attention of your potential customers.
So who would this class be for?
You know, I say a lot of times I tend to gravitate towards the new entrepreneur because as a new business owner, you don't have a lot of funds to pay for a graphic designer to do your graphics for you. So I tend to say new entrepreneur, but truly it's for any business owner. It's for anybody who wants to put their message out there. It's even for, say, fundraisers, or there's different dropship programs where you can make your own graphics to print on mugs and t-shirts, and you can do that as well, learn how to do that as well, so you don't have to pay for those designs. It's money saving. It's a nice step that you could even start your own business even if you have nothing yet. So it's pretty much a great application, a great class for anybody who wants to learn graphic design.
That sounds like a great bonus to be able to have help as to how to start your own dropship business. Because you've done that for years also, is that right?
That's true, yes. I have another business that I started before I created my course that I've had for going on 7 years now, where it's kind of a dropship business. I don't actually have any inventory here. The orders are all processed through my website and are shipped from manufacturers across the country. So that essentially is a dropship business. And I want to make a simpler version of that so that anybody can learn how to do that. You know, the kindergarten teacher down the street that wants to learn how to save money on the t-shirts that she wants to use for the fundraiser, she can actually have her own dropship business and start making those herself and really make the profits for the class. That's just one example of how someone could utilize this course.
Oh, how fun. It sounds like it's going to be amazing. Is there anyone that this class is not for?
It's really hard to say because I think that on a certain level, if you're already a real big time graphics whiz, then I suppose you wouldn't need this. But it's always good to brush up on the skills of a professional graphic designer, someone who's working in the business every single day and seeing what's popular in the feeds, what's popular with branding these days. What's the eye-catching thing that's happening in social media right now? It's always good to connect on that level, because as long as you're working with someone who's in that market at that point in time, you're always at the top of the food chain, so to speak, where you're getting the most up-to-date information. If you're not in it all the time, if your business is something different, then you're focused on something else most of the time and might not be as up to speed with some of the newer technologies. So that's where it would be convenient for them as well.
If it was someone got in there and found that it was just like they understood it and they realized they could do it themselves, are you available for done for you projects? I'm just curious.
Yes, absolutely. At this point, I certainly am. I'm sure at a certain point that won't be an option. But right now, yes. And the other nice benefit with the class starting out, it is in its beta version at this point. So I'm actually going to be looking to my students to give me some feedback as to what they want to see more of, what they need from me, so that I can beef up that class. The class is going to be held in a Facebook social learning group, as well as I do have an online classroom that it's going to be accessible in as well. And within that Facebook group, you're going to be open to full access to me, where you can post your different designs, ask for feedback on those, and get pointers on anything that you create during the length of the course. And you have access to the course for a full 30 days.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So will there be access to the course after the 30 days, or it's like 30 days, you've got 30 days to get this?
Well, it really, where it's a designer in a day, you can pretty much get through the entire course in a day's time, or at most a weekend. The benefit to having the full 30 days is that you can go back in over the course of that time. I do include a PDF checklist where that's completely downloadable, and you can keep that to reference anytime you need to, and that's yours to keep forever. And once you're in the course, you're always connected to me, and that's where Facebook Messenger comes in, and you can always drop me a line.
Is anyone going to need anything special on their computer in order to do this course?
Basically, just access to the internet. That's the only reason that you would, only special equipment that you'd need.
Well, that sounds pretty easy. So how do you get in?
Let me try that again. You can sign up now. The doors are open. Enrollment's only open for a couple more days because class starts on Monday, November 19th. But if you just go to designerinadaday.com, you can get signed up today.
Awesome. We will put that in the comments for folks so they can find it also.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to tell people about the course that I maybe didn't ask you?
I can't think of anything. You did an amazing job asking all the special questions that needed to be asked.
I know, we don't even know what needs to be asked, do we? We get into these things and we say, yes, Miss Kim, we'll do that. And then we go,
Follow the leader.
Do what she says. She sees where our skills are, and she really does see us. So if anybody wants to join us in the collaboration realm of the world, where we have really gotten to know each other, and we've really gotten to a place where we can support one another in ways that you can't even imagine and that we've yet to even fully discover, I know her class is coming up and going to be starting again real soon too. So send me a message and I'll connect you with Kim. So thank you again, Nicole, for coming on here and jumping on here last minute and just saying, let's just do this thing. Let's have fun. And I did have fun with you today. I hope you had fun too. And I hope those who are listening and watching had fun. We will respond to any comments that have been placed while we've been live. And we shall talk to you all another day. Ta-ta.
Thanks, Cyndilu. Bye.
Thank you.